It's the hashtag Simply Cyber, COMMUNITY. Here to break the cycle, this is vital more than you and I. Yeah, it's exciting, it don't matter what your title is. You can grab a friend or two or three or four, invite them in. It's the Simply Cyber, bring a good vibe. It's the live with Jerry every morning, having good time. And you know we love to see for you, just gotta go and get it. Yeah, you know we all believe in you, it's time we grow together. It's the Simply Cyber, bring a good vibe. It's the live with Jerry every morning, having good times. And you know we love to see for you, just gotta go and get it. Yeah, you know we all believe in you, it's time we grow together. Dr. Auger is a OG, got that potion, the elixir. Got devotion to all those who keep us showing up to witness. Fit the tricks, equips, and all the tips to raise your cyber fitness. Switching up the routines, pass it off to James quicker. Keep the people smiling, hit that follow, that's a good decision. Every week, today, tomorrow, I encourage y'all to listen. We gon' teach y'all way more than how to protect yourselves from phishing. More like being confident so you can recognize the vision. On a mission, it's official, we gon' get through all these issues. Time for jaw jacking, baby, this is more than a tradition, yeah. Oh, I can't forget to recognize the mods. They the engine, they the reason that you leave and feeling charged. It's a Simply Cyber, bring a good vibe. It's a live with Jerry every morning, having good time. And you know we love to see for you, just gotta go and get it. Yeah, you know we all believe in you, it's time we grow together. It's a Simply Cyber, bring a good vibe. It's a live with Jerry every morning, having good times. And you know we love to see for you, just gotta go and get it. Yeah, you know we all believe in you, it's time we grow together. Yeah. What else can I say? I hope you find some value in this place and have yourself an awesome day. Simply Cyber's here to stay. So let's all put our hands together ready. Time to hang with Dr. A.
All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the party. Today is Friday, February 21st, 2025. This is episode 819 of your Simply Cyber Daily Cyber Threat Brief podcast. I am your host, Dr. Gerald Auger, in the Threat Locker Zero Trust World Premium Upgraded Super Mobile Studio alongside Josh Mason and Real Bilbo. Over the next hour, me, you, Carrie, Marcus, Kyler, who's live in chat somewhere at the table, Mary Ellen Kennel, Nerman, my man, Port Zero in the upstate, Matthew Netchie, Phil Stafford, Evans, Dreaded Ninja, as always, Brexy. We've got Omatola Agbana, a lot of blue badges like Code Brew, Terrence Billingsley, Augusta Delgado coming in, Hot Lara Flores, good morning to you, Code Brew, always dropping jokes, guys. We're all going to be shredding the top cybersecurity news stories of the day. And I'll be giving my expert opinion and analysis on each of those stories on what it means to you as a practitioner. So how can you use this information to drive cyber risk reduction down for your business stakeholders and also level yourself up as a practitioner so you can dictate the terms for your next employment? I'm talking about straight cash, homie. All right, so check it out. On top of all of that, guys, if you're looking to break into the industry, we are here to help you. We make the circle as wide as possible. You will be asked in any job interview, how do you stay current on the industry? This right here, the Daily Cyber Threat Brief podcast, is a banger of an answer. So please get engaged, pay attention, say hello in chat. I know a lot of people here at Zero Trust World have approached me and said that they're lurkers. Dude, no shame, no shade being thrown at you. You lurk all you want, my friend, but I'm telling you, you're missing a golden opportunity. If you're here showing up and putting the work in, just say hi. I'm telling you, you are going to realize mad value from that experience. Guys, we have a great show for you. We're going to be going through the top stories, and then afterwards, it is Friday, which means we're going to do panel jaw jacking, which is always good. And every Friday has every day has a special segment, and on Fridays, we do James McQuiggan at 35,000 feet, dad joke of the day. James was here in studio yesterday. He's already at 35,000 feet. Somewhere in Europe right now, this guy's dropping bombs, but I got to tell you, he already left me with the jokes of the day, so we'll do some rib ticklers at the mid-roll. Now, I want everyone to know that I don't prep or research for any of these stories because, frankly, I don't got time for that. But we are going to be bringing the heat to you, I promise you, as we do. And as always, I strongly encourage you, if you have comments or thoughts that are constructive and valuable for the community about any of the stories that we touch on, drop them in chat. We are a community. We help each other. I don't have all the answers. I literally just have an oar, and I'm paddling alongside all of you. I'm not the guy in the front with a little megaphone yelling at you. That's not my game. So let's do it. Now, before we get into it, let me give some love and shout out to the stream sponsors. I want to say shout out and love to Barricade Cyber. Now listen to me really quickly. Barricade Cyber, guys. Barricade Cyber Solutions is dedicated to helping businesses from cyber attacks and recover from the damage done. So cyber attacks can cause massive issues for businesses and send dedicated, hardworking business owners into turmoil. But did you know that you don't need to fight that fight alone? Barricade Cyber Solutions is absolutely committed to helping businesses recover from cyber attacks, the damage done, helping business owners get back on their feet. I'm telling you, go to barricadecyber.com. Links in the description below. You will be happy as heck to have them on your side when the moment hits. And I just want to quickly shout out, Eric Taylor dropped this earlier today. Incident Response Program Pack. What an amazing resource. I'm going to drop this link in chat. Guys, if you have zero, and a lot of us do, small businesses, if you've got zero in the way of an IR program, I'm telling you right now, this resource that Eric Taylor dropped from Barricade Cyber is going to absolutely help you out. I'm going to drop it in chat right now. Boom, baby, boom. Go scoop that up. But if you really don't want to go it alone, Eric Taylor, barricadecyber.com. Let's run through the polished, produced video ads. And when we come back, I'm going to tell you how this show, let me go full on you, how this show right here is going to solve all your CPE problems. So if you're like cramming a webinar on identity governance because you're like, I need some CPEs, we got you covered. This show is going to solve all those problems. I'll give you the details right when we get back from the break. Let's go. I want to give some love to the Daily Cyber Threat Brief sponsor, ThreatLocker. Do zero-day exploits and supply chain attacks keep you up at night? Well, worry no more. You can harden your security with ThreatLocker. Worldwide, companies like JetBlue trust ThreatLocker to secure their data and keep their business operations flying high. ThreatLocker takes a deny-by-default approach to cybersecurity and provides a full audit of every action allowed or blocked for risk management and compliance. Onboarding and operation is fully supported by their US-based Cyber Heroes support team. Get a free 30-day trial and learn more about how ThreatLocker can help prevent ransomware and ensure compliance. Visit ThreatLocker. As a person that exists publicly, especially since I share my opinions and hot takes daily, I'm hyper aware of my safety and security, and it's even easier to find personal information about people online these days. All the data is just hanging out there on the internet, and it can have real life consequences. But I recently found a solution, and this service is called Delete Me. Delete Me is a subscription service that removes your personal info from the largest people search databases on the web, and in the process helps prevent ID theft, doxing, phishing scams, stuff like that. And when you sign up, you tell Delete Me what data you want deleted, and they go off and do it. The cool thing is you get a personalized privacy report every month that shows what they deleted, where they found it, etc. It's pretty cool. For me personally, it's like outsourcing your online privacy, which honestly, I don't have time to do that myself or do it well. So for them to handle it is awesome. Take control of your data and keep your private life private by signing up for Delete Me now at the special discount for Simply Cyber listeners. The only way to get 20% off is to go to joindeleteme.com/simplycyber and enter code simplycyber at checkout. That's joindeleteme.com/simplycyber. Do you want cutting-edge, high-quality cybersecurity education regardless of financial position? Check this out. I want to give some love and some praise to Antisyphon Training, powered by Black Hills Information Security. Antisyphon Training is absolutely disrupting the traditional cybersecurity training industry by providing high-quality, cutting-edge education to everyone regardless of financial position. They bring industry professionals with years and years of experience into the classroom to teach you and anyone else who's interested practical skills that are in demand in the market today. And on top of that, the student experience is amazing as you and hundreds or thousands in some instances of other students are actively engaging, networking, sharing tips, tricks, and experiences with each other all live in the classroom. Go to antisyphontraining.com, check out their course calendar to see what courses they have coming up next. You won't regret it. What are we doing here? Hey, everybody, we're back. Guys, I got to tell you, every single episode of the Daily Cyber Threat Brief is worth half a CPE. Can we, hold on one second. We are working through some technical difficulties because we decided to modify the audio while we were doing the ad reads here. Come on. All right, guys, every single episode of the Daily Cyber Threat Brief is worth half a CPE, so it's very easy. All you have to do is say, what's up in chat. It goes right above my head right here, so we can see Kenrick O'Connor, David P., Mara Levy, as always, Fred on. I was actually sharing your Ghana spicy heel soup recipe just yesterday at a mixer, Fred on, so thank you for that. It was actually with Swims with Sharks, so if you got that recipe, Fred on, definitely share it with her in Discord. Sean Kelly's in chat right now and freezing his credit. Good stuff. Listen, Say hashtag Team SC in chat right above us. Grab a screenshot, file it away, folder on your desktop. It doesn't matter. Once a year, count the number of screenshots and either divide by 2 or multiply it by 0.5. You choose your own math adventure. I don't care. The reality is you can get up to 120 CPEs per year if you just stay connected with the show and engage with us on the regular. It's as simple as that. I happen to have 20 years of experience and a PhD in cyber operations, which qualifies me as an expert. And this is an instructor-led webinar. Instructor-led webinars don't have to suck, okay? They don't have to be boring. They don't have to be lame-ass with silly PowerPoint. We can have fun and do it. So that's what's up. Hashtag GRC Mafia, Space Tacos, and Rhonda Rummerfield up in this beast. All right, guys. We got a lot going on, but we got to get to work. So do me a favor, everyone. If this is your first episode ever, drop a hashtag first timer in chat. We have a special sound effect, a special emote, and we love welcoming our first timers. Drop a hashtag first timer. Other than that, everybody do me a favor. Sit back, relax, and let's let the cool sounds of the hot news wash over us in an awesome wave. I'll see you guys at the mid-roll. Let's go.
From the CISO series, it's Cybersecurity Headlines.
These are the cybersecurity headlines for Friday, February 21st, 2025. I'm Steve Prentice. Minerals company loses $500,000 to BEC scam. NEOCorp Developments, that is spelled NIOCORP, is a company that operates a minerals project in southeastern Nebraska, focusing on the production of niobium, scandium, and titanium, and has alerted regulators to a break-in that occurred on February 14th. Threat actors allegedly, quote, broke into its information systems, including portions of its email systems, end quote, and misdirected $500,000 intended to be sent to a vendor. The company is taking steps to remediate the incident, of course, and to search for any additional damage.
All right. So it's been a minute since we had like a really nice, clean business email compromise attack. So this one's going to be a little like more or like, lesson learned for everybody. So gather around, I guess. Dan Reardon, Haircut Fish. We can we can do the magic card gather round. DJ BSEC behind the glass, ladies and gentlemen, officially. So check it out. Here is the deal. Business email compromise is like, it's almost like carbon monoxide. It's the sleepy silent killer that no one's really talking about. I know, we know what it means, but ransomware reigns supreme as the dominant force that everybody's doing, right? Everybody's like, oh, we've got an AI solution. We solve ransomware, blah, blah, blah. Listen, business email compromise, if I was going to, listen, I'm not promoting crime, but if my moral compass snapped and I needed to make some straight cash, homie, I would be business email compromise all day, every day, because it's super effective way, and a lot of businesses don't even report it. Like literally, I've worked at businesses that got hit with multiple incidents of business email compromise, which is why they hired me, and they just write it off as like an expense and they move on. So the deal is there's multiple ways to get it. If you can get into email and you can send, accounts payable or financing, an invoice from like the CFO and say, hey, listen, we got this, super important invoice. It's got to get paid today. We're about to make this deal. And like, I'm about to get on a plane, so don't call me, but you got to wire $500,000 to this bank account. People will do it. You can also, like sometimes you don't even have to compromise the business. Check this out. Let me go full on this one. Josh Mason's in frame. Hi, Josh. Listen to me. There was an incident of a Latvian man a couple years ago, and DJ BSEC reminded me about this. He literally created a company and made it look just like some Taiwanese company. It wasn't Toshiba, but for the sake of this discussion, let's pretend it's Toshiba. He literally just created this company, had the same font, same look, same everything, and he was sending invoices to Google and Facebook, and basically for like 2 years, they just were paying the invoices like stamp, stamp. So that's what's up. The fact that it's a U.S. mineral company, it doesn't mean anything. This could happen to Hasbro. This could happen to Oscar Mayer. Like, it literally doesn't matter what kind of company. I don't care what you do. Every company has accounts payable and accounts receivable. They make money and they pay for services. So if you can inject yourself into that workflow, you can basically do business email compromise. So I just want to be crystal clear for the people who are looking to break into the industry. The term is business email compromise, but it can manifest itself in multiple ways. And the original way was compromising a business email address, which is how the moniker got slapped onto it. All right, so 500 grand, that sucks. But listen, I got to tell you, honestly, if I had if I had both hands, I would Google this right now. What their annual revenue is, 500 grand for me and you. That's like life changing. But for this company, it's probably a multi-billion-dollar company. 500 grand, they write it off as like a loss and they just move on, right?
Actually, it's zero. It said in the article they've yet to make revenue.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Well, I mean, how does a company like this isn't a tech startup? This is a friggin' publicly traded company. Are you serious?
It's startup mentality. That's a whole.
Well, coming
other
from
thing.
coming from the Nevada in the mining space,
Hold on. Let me show everybody who you are and what you're talking about here.
it takes a few years. It takes a couple years to get a mine up and running.
Nebraska.
Yeah, it's still a mineral company, so they're mining, and it takes a long time to get that operation up and running. So they've had no income, and they lost $500K.
And they're probably used to like answering invoices, and if they're small, they probably don't have a great system in place. People, I just got asked on a podcast last week, like, when is it too early to start implementing cybersecurity? I asked the same question, when is it too early to start implementing HR or sales or marketing? You do it when you need it for the company. For them, putting something in place, some policies around who can pay what based off of like in person, like the CEO has to be there to sign the invoice or something like that. If they aren't doing that now, they should do it now.
Yeah, 100%. And you know, as a business owner of a small business, I would agree that like sometimes you introduce new processes and workflows when they present themselves. Like we have an SOP now for riding crops and how to properly use them. Thanks, haircut fish. Let's keep going.
Australian IVF provider investigating cyber incident. The fertility services provider Genea, Genea, confirmed on Wednesday that an unauthorized third party had accessed its systems, but said it was still determining whether personal information had been compromised. It did not specify the nature of the cyber attack or the identity of those responsible. Genea, which operates multiple IVF clinics across Australia, said, quote, it had taken some systems and servers offline as a precaution and was working to restore them while the investigation continued, end quote. The company's app, which allows patients to track their fertility cycles and access medical data, was also unavailable following the incident.
All right, so healthcare company in Australia. Don't worry, there's no Australians live in Awaken chat right now. Although I will tell you, just as a quick aside, we made friends with a guy named Zubair. We're going to call him Z for the remainder of the show. He's from Perth, which is Western Australia, which time zones align. So he's committed to showing up on Wednesdays. So we're going to start holding him accountable for all of Australia. Okay, so this is an IVF provider, which is like a fertility clinic. Doesn't matter. Healthcare is healthcare. What's interesting about this is they suffered a data breach. They haven't done the full extent of the investigation to understand the level of impact to the customers of the clinic. And it's not a good look, obviously, for them. One thing that they point out in the story that is particularly interesting is customers are actively trying to reach them and get answers. And they're, you know, it's gotten to the point now where like the news is reporting on how frustrated customers are. Guys, if you work at a business and you are doing tabletop exercises, which you absolutely should be, one of the things you should be thinking about is how do we handle a massive inflow of calls? Like, do you have a data center? Do you have a phone number people are supposed to call? Do you set up an email address like ransomware or, you know, like customer inquiries or cyber incident inquiries at business.com? And if you do set that up, who's answering the emails? Who looks at them? Do you have a standard response, canned response? Like, all of these things have to be thought through. And again, I say it so often, you do not want to be figuring this out in the middle of an active compromise. Like you really don't want to, because you're going to be not thinking clearly. Your head's going to be all a mess, and it's going to be not good. In fact, it reminds me of what I dropped earlier from Eric Taylor dropped this incident response program pack. There's a massive workflow in this program pack right here. I bet you anything, part of it has to do with handling responses from customers or victims. Because remember, guys, like this clinic or whatever it is, this in vitro clinic, they are the ones who got hit, but it's their customers' data who got compromised. So it's a bad look for them. But really, you and I, or the ladies in chat, like you're the victim, right? So it's a hot mess express. You want to have your crap in order before then. Panel, you want to say anything about this one?
Yeah, it's a good idea to have a call center as a service on hand if you're a consultant, just in case someone hits you up with, oh, hey, we had an incident. Can you get us a barricade cyber? If in your back pocket you're also like, oh, you know what? I know Telelink will also be, we might need them because you're going to get flooded with calls and you don't normally take that level of calls. So bringing someone in part-time is really helpful. And including that in your tabletop, crucial.
Yeah, and if you're following this CSF, you're going to have all those notification processes defined ahead of time. So,
All right. Hold on 1 second. I'm chatting with DJ B-Sec behind the glass. Let's keep going here.
SEC replaces cryptocurrency fraud unit with emerging tech team. The Securities and Exchange Commission announced yesterday, Thursday, that their crypto assets and cyber unit will be replaced by a smaller team that will focus on, quote, cyber-related misconduct, end quote, affecting investors. This new team, the Cyber and Emerging Technologies Unit, CETU, will, quote, combat fraud committed through means such as artificial intelligence, social media, the dark web, blockchain technology, hacking, and account takeovers, end quote.
All right.
Job.
Okay, so Jay Crypto, a.k.a. Justin Gold, a.k.a. the water infrastructure guy, feeling a little flex. So the SEC, they won't let me be or let me be me. So let me see. They've got this cryptocurrency fraud situation. It's a team that investigates these things. We're looking at NFT, rug pulls, dude, hawk to a coin, whatever. And they're basically going to reduce the team size and expand the scope of responsibility. Now, I do want to point out a little bit, this is like cyber adjacent story, so we're not going to spend a ton of time on it. But what I do want to point out is this is not a political show, so let's not get into that. This right here is going to not, okay, so you can expect, I would say not for crypto fraud to increase in frequency. I think it will stay the same or stay on its current path. This just means that the amount of investigations and being held accountable and bringing justice to people committing crypto fraud will be less, basically. And remember, I feel like the heyday of NFT rug pulls is kind of come and gone. Again, hawk to a coin was a rug pull, and this Libra thing down in, would you know, is it Venezuela? There's a South American country right now. If you just Google Libra crypto rug pull, it'll come up. The president of the country announced that it's a really bad thing. So anyways, in my opinion, this isn't going to increase fraud. This is just going to make less people accountable, which downstream, if you go 3 levels down, will then ultimately commit fraud because increase fraud simply because people are going to be like, oh, hey, dude, how do you have a gold BMW 750 series? They're like, oh man, it's all about these rug pulls. Got to get your NFT on Bored Apes and whatnot. So again, not really a cyber story, but yeah, we'll keep going.
Ads target freelance developers via GitHub. We have seen this type of attack technique before. This most recent one targets freelance developers using deceptive job ads to get victims to download malicious software disguised as legitimate tools. This campaign is primarily using GitHub repositories. As usual, the attackers pose as reputable companies offering attractive gigs, including using fake websites. Researchers at security company ESET have attributed this campaign to a North Korea-linked threat actor that they call deceptive development.
Okay, so check it out. This attack technique is this is pretty standard. We're seeing this in multiple ways. Essentially, North Korea specifically, they're doing it a lot, but essentially they are opening LinkedIn ads for gig work. They're setting up reaching out to people on Fiverr. The gig economy is pretty popular right now, obviously. And essentially they're saying, oh, before we hire you, we'd like to test your work and, complete this assignment or run this thing so we can see. And basically social engineering developers into installing malware on their own devices. Now, this particular story is talking about North Korea targeting developers, but they could target finance people, engineers, IT people, anyone that's going to have to do some type of assessment for their skill set. So, like a Mason isn't going to fall for this, right? Obviously. I've said this on the show before. This is a pretty sensitive area. If someone in your company is looking for a job, there's no way in hell they're going to stand up at like the all hands meeting and be like, just so everyone knows, I'm looking to leave this company. I know we're all a family here, but I'm looking to get paid better, and my boss is kind of a dink. So I'm going to be looking for a new job. Like, no one's doing that. Everybody's like, dude, I love it. Like, how many people have ever seen someone be like, dude, woo, like carrying the company flag and then like drops their 2-week notice like later that day, right? So the thing is, the reason I bring that up is because those individuals are going to be discreetly taking on work like this and not telling people that they're interviewing and downloading malicious packages and running them. So you could actually have people in your environment installing malware and like you could even see like a command shell pop up and be like downloading malware, and they'd be like, oh shit, like I don't want anyone to know that A, I did this, and B, why I did it, because people are going to feel like they're going to have to explain themselves. And when you explain to your boss or IT or anyone that you accidentally infected your machine and brought ransomware to the company because you were looking for a new job, it's going to be like a double, it's a colonoscopy sans lube, you know what I'm saying? So just, you don't want that. All right, let's see how this goes really quickly. I would say as a cyber threat intelligence person or a SecOps person, you should be mindful of people in your business, your company, falling for this and being victimized. Again, this is North Korea. They've done this in multiple different iterations over the last, I'd say, like 12 to 18 months. So all I would say is try to find the IOCs of this. Of course, like standard best practice, don't let end users just run like PowerShell in your environment, stuff like that. This deceptive development, which is the, I guess, code name for this particular campaign, is being reported. Unit 42 reported it in 2023. I would assume that they're still doing that. The IOC, here, let me just share this also. The IOCs from 2023, I guarantee you, they're no longer valid, right? So whenever you're doing IOCs or indicators of compromise, you want to make sure you have the current stuff. David Bianco's Pyramid of Pain really classically explains this. I'm going to bring it up on stream right now. And if you're listening, I do want to say shout out to Carlos. Carlos is a guy I met here last night at the conference who listens to the show audio only because he's got a 2-hour commute every day, and he doesn't get to see these visuals, which is too bad, but I'll explain to you. All right, so check this out really quick, everybody. Here we go. Here we go. Okay, so check this out. This is the David Bianco Pyramid of Pain. And basically, the lower values of the pyramid are easier for threat actors to change, and the higher up you go, it's harder for the threat actors to change, which is why we can use attribution and say with confidence that this particular campaign is North Korea. We're not just like throwing around like xenophobia and being like, North Korea, China. Like literally, the TTPs map to known previous incidents and attribution from those threat actors, from those nation states. And you can have like low confidence, medium confidence, and then ultimately high confidence or 100% certainty over who the attribution of the attack comes from. Again, this Pyramid of Pain, it's well known in our industry. So if you're new to the industry or you've never seen this, get familiar with the Pyramid of Pain. You can just Google it and it'll come up. The higher up you go, the easier it is to fix.
I'll say Joseph did a video on this recently in like the last couple weeks. Joseph dropped that, or casually Joseph dropped that in mod chat, and someone put it in YouTube for everyone else to see.
Just want to add something real quick before we go on to the next story.
Really quick, Marcus Kyler, everybody, just so we know.
What's going on, everybody? Yeah, just going back to what you said a few minutes ago with that scenario where you're compromised your work computer and now your company is in deep water or whatever just because you were trying to accept work outside of the company. I don't know if anybody needs to hear this or it needs to be said, but obviously don't do anything on your work device that's not work related to that particular job that owns that computer. I don't even log into to like Gemini or ChatGPT or something like that on my work device. Even though if I need to use that, I'll use my personal phone or whatever, and then maybe I'll maybe I'll email myself or something like that, whatever information I get that I need or whatever. But I don't use my work device for anything but work. Just in case anybody needs to hear that, it's kind of obvious, but sometimes we need to hear the obvious things.
Yeah, no, sound advice. I mean, you might call it professional compartmentalization if you're in the CISO suite, but if you're in the bullpen or you're an IT person, it's like professional prophylactics. You want to keep a very clean segmentation so you don't get any cross-pollination or any taint, if you will, on that situation. All right, let me do this, and look at us. Somebody call Nick Barker, please. We are just at the bottom of the hour about to transition into the mid-roll.
Thanks to today's episode sponsor, Scrut Automation. Scrut Automation allows compliance and risk teams of any size to establish enterprise-grade security programs. Their best-in-class features like process automation, AI, and over 75 native integrations reverse compliance debt and help manage risk proactively as your business grows. Visit scrut.io to schedule a demo or to learn more. That is www.scrut.io.
All right, we are at the mid-roll. Guys, I love the chat. We've got so much going on that it's tough for me to engage with chat specifically today, but I love all the comments here. Marcus Kyler, you've kind of kicked off a whole conversation around using AI specifically for personal and business use. Space Taco's talking about a little cross-pollination. Guys, we are at the mid-roll. I don't know if we had any first-timers here. Let me know in chat, but let's go. All right, hey, good morning. Guys, we are at the mid-roll. I do want to say shout out to all of you. Thank you so very much to the stream sponsors, Barricade Cyber, Threat Locker, Delete Me, and Antisyphon. How are we doing on audio, Kimberly? Good? All right, good stuff. Guys, love it. I literally have like 4 different chats: mod chat, behind the glass chat, regular chat, chat in IRL over here. Guys, it's been a wild, awesome experience here at Zero Trust World as far as the professional studio, the mobile build-out, the team, the jaw-jacking panel. Stay tuned, because at the top of the hour, 9 a.m., we're going to do jaw-jacking panel like we always do, except we're doing it in real life. We've expanded the couch over here. You guys can see what we're cracking on here. Look at this panel, guys. We got amazing people who are going to be bringing the heat. I can't wait until the mid-roll. Now, it is Friday, which means only one thing. It's Grayson's Joke of the Week, presented by James O'Quigan at 35,000 feet. Look at this beautiful baby right here. Guys, get ready. Take your, if you got a drink or something, take your last sip, because you're going to spit your water out when you hear this, okay? James O'Quigan always bringing the dad jokes. He said, we're cruising here at Zero Trust World, so here are some dad jokes about the cruise life. What vegetable is allowed on a cruise ship? What vegetable is not allowed on a cruise ship? You might think onions, you might think celery, but actually, leeks. Leeks are not allowed on a cruise ship. All right. Do we have that? Oh, I don't have it. Thank you. Yeah, my voice is blown out. All right. Thank you very much, James. Where do sick cruise ships go? Oh, my God. Where do sick cruise ships go? I don't know, James McQuiggan. Where do sick cruise ships go?
To the dock?
They go to the dock. Thank you, FedEx. We're doing panel, hold on one second. We got to do this right. Let me do this and then this so everybody can fully enjoy the panel here. What's it like working on a cruise ship? Okay, so some of us are like graybeards specifically and really working hard. Guys, did you know, though, working on a cruise ship, it really has its ups and downs. It really does have its ups and downs. All right. Some rib ticklers, some good ones. James McQuiggan, if you're with us live in chat, thank you very much, as always, for bringing the heat and the daily cyber threat brief. Now, we are right on schedule. I'm going to jump ahead to the la-la-la-las. Alpha Sierra in chat right now is our drum major, so please get ready, Alpha Sierra, and bring the heat to us. Here we go. Malware Trini loves the manual sound effects. All right, guys, everybody, we know the words. CR is bringing a joke. Why do chicken coops only have 2 doors? Because if they had 4, they would be a chicken sedan. Nailing it. Alpha Sierra bringing the heat. Casually Joseph with a super chat. Holy crap. Okay, hold on. We've got a big announcement. Yeah. We're going to do this. All right, guys. Hey, really quickly, we have a massive announcement in chat right now. We always celebrate when our community members get a job. I'm very proud to read this one. And Joseph, thanks for the super chat. Casually Joseph says, I'm excited to officially announce that I accepted an offer for a role with Palo Alto Unit 42. I want to thank the community wholeheartedly. And yes, they did ask, how do I stay current? Nice job, Casually Joseph. So happy for you. Best of wishes. And guys, Unit 42 is super legit. So what you should read that is now we have a friend at Unit 42 that we can totally connect with and take advantage of. So thanks, Joseph, and best wishes on your new role. Guys, this is, again, I can't promise anyone a job, but I'm telling you, what we're doing here, the impact we're having, it's real, it's tangible, and you just got to stay the course and put the work in. So awesome. What an inspiring story. Or an inspiring turn of events. Thank you, Joseph.
We're all proud of you, dude.
Yep, exactly. All right, let's keep rolling and get through this so we can get to the jaw-jacking. Oh, dude, hey, Real Bilbo's got goosebumps, Casually Joseph. This is what you're doing to people up in here. Love it.
NELIO locker ransomware targets European healthcare-related entities.
Hold on. DJ Bsec behind the glass has a dad joke he wants to throw in. What kind of pastry is not allowed on a cruise ship, everybody? No turnovers on cruise ships. No turnovers on... Thank you.
Researchers from Orange Cyber Defense made the discovery back in late 2024 and said that the threat actors are using ShadowPad, PlugX, and the previously undocumented NELIO locker ransomware. The researchers believe this campaign makes use of a zero-day in checkpoint security gateways with a remote access VPN or mobile access features. They state further that this campaign, quote, aligns with Chinese intrusion tactics, end quote, such as DLL side loading, suggesting that this may be the work of China-linked APTs, but they added that there is currently insufficient evidence to confirm this.
All right. So, basically this story, nation-state threat actor attacking some European healthcare entity. Here's the thing. First of all, kind of weird, okay? Like, when I think of China as a nation-state threat actor, ransomware is not what they're doing, right? Like, ransomware, it's not exclusive, but ransomware is typically Eastern European bloc, Russia, Belarus, Romania, right? Ukraine, right? So China's like espionage central. Like, they're not doing ransomware. So to me, that like immediately kind of jumps off as kind of unusual. 4 practitioners, right? For the Anorexia and Space Tacos, Robert Rittenhouse is in chat. The Mad Dog Prash, Mad Destroyer, Forsaken 1Z28. Listen, the TLDR here is they believe, and I would suspect they have some indicators to promote this. They believe that the checkpoint VPN remote access networking device, right? So some type of remote access interface or VPN concentrator, whatever it is. They believe that has a 0-day in it that's being actively exploited, which means if you're running the same tech stack, I don't know if there's a patch available for it. So hold on.
You gotta patch it.
So first of all, I would investigate whether or not there is a patch available for your devices. Like you should be doing, even if you're running Juniper or Fortinet or Zixel, whatever you're running, you should be checking if there's like updates and security patches with some regularity. If you can automate the pull down or the notification of that, that would be preferred, but you should be doing it. Now for this checkpoint one, if they don't have a patch, I would strongly recommend you start doing some threat hunting. Look for unusual activity coming through. Look for IP addresses or regions, right, that you wouldn't expect. Now, I also want to point out for everybody, if you're just looking for like China-based IP addresses and then you don't see any and you're like, well, we're good to go. Like, dude, it's 2025. Like, you can proxy through Texas. Geo fencing is fine, but like you can use a Proton VPN and like pop out somewhere else. So don't use that as your exclusive barometer on whether or not you're screwed or not. Okay, I know it's Friday. You want to like basically show up late and punch out at 2 for lunch and then not come back. I get it, but like don't just be like, oh, no Chinese IP addresses. We're good here. All right. Yeah, Checkpoint VPN appliance. You busted. Okay. Oh, there is a CVE for this one. Let's do this really quickly. We do have this capability, and this is a resource available to everybody. DJ BSEC, not just a beautiful face, he's actually developed a tool that allows us to pop in a CVE right here. You guys can see it live on stream right now. Put in today's date, and we are going to get the EPSS score live right now. I'll drop a link in chat. What I want everyone to know here, and by the way, if you bust this out in a job interview, get ready for an eggplant emoji to just appear on the other side of the table. This CVSS scores are great, right? CVEs, they have a vulnerability score. Like, how bad is it? Well, CVSS is fine, but Brandon Poole has converted me. I'm like an evangelist, right? I love it, I love it, I love it. I'm all about this EPSS score. I forget what the acronym stands for. It really doesn't matter. What matters is this score will tell you the likelihood that it will be actively exploited in the next 30 days, which is why you got an eggplant emoji on the other side of the table. Holy Jesus. Holy crap. Dude, check this out. Guys, this vulnerability, if you're running this Checkpoint VPN appliance, you have a 97% chance of getting compromised in the next 30 days. Yeah, this is absolutely hold on. Yeah.
Imagine that it's not Fortinet.
Okay, so over the course of the last couple days, Real Bilbo has made it abundantly clear that he's a Fortinet love child. So, but dude, seriously, this EPSS score of 97% is high. The percentile, do you see this value percentile, 99.71%? This value, the entire database of vulnerabilities at EPSS, so like 200,000 vulnerabilities, they've ranked them like, okay, like, is this one, like, given these two vulnerabilities, which one's worse? Well, this one's worse. Okay, so that goes ahead. Now, given these two vulnerabilities, which one's worse? They did that for all 200,000. This one right here is in the it's almost the #1 bad vulnerability, right? So this literally, as Marcus Kyler put it, this is a stop the stream and go get this sorted out. And dude, I'm so sorry because it's Friday and you might have to work this weekend, but this one is one that I really would prioritize, like ASAP. I also want to say shout out to Wading Through Logs, getting up early on a Friday morning. Wade Wells, co-host of the Simply Defensive podcast. Oh my God. Hey, really quickly, as a fun joke, DJ BSEC behind the glass wants Real Bilbo. So Real Bilbo must really love patching. Like that must be why he's such a Fortinet lover.
They auto patch. I just have to follow up. So I don't want to get into promoting products, but yeah, I don't patch them. It's auto patched.
Okay, so I guess you gotta patch it. It's an automated auto patch. Okay, all right, hilarious. All right, let's keep going.
Microsoft working on fix for Windows 11 SSH connections bug. Following up on a story we covered last November, Microsoft is now testing a fix for an issue that has been around since November, which is breaking SSH connections on some Windows 11 22H2 and 23H2 systems. This fix has been included in the Windows 11 build 26100 available on its release preview channel. When the problem first emerged, Microsoft said that only a limited number of devices running Windows 11 Enterprise, IoT, and Education editions were affected, but it is now investigating whether consumer customers using Windows 11 Home or Pro editions may also be at risk. Insight partner.
All right, I think Josh Mason just crystallized the thought everybody's having. Cool story, Microsoft. You're doing your job. Okay, like, All right, hey, spoiler alert, okay? Microsoft's an operating system, and it patches all the time, right? Now, they do have Patch Tuesday, which is a whole thing. Sometimes their patches break things. We actually spent quite a bit of time on Wednesday talking about this bug and the problems it introduces. They're testing, and they're going to fix it. So, if you work in vulnerability management, if you are, you're into, like, what's it called when the religious people, like, whip themselves? You know what I'm talking about? What's self-flagellation?
Flagellation.
Flagellation?
I think. Flagell.
Is that farting?
No, self-lacerations. They'll lacerate into.
No, laceration's the actual cut. There's chat. Let us know. There's
Flogging.
like basically, if you're into like flogging yourself, there's a better word for it.
Why'd you say religious though? I don't get what's the reference. But is that
I
a
think of
religion?
like Da Vinci
Hold on,
Code.
it's
like
not-
that one, like the bad guy in Da Vinci Code.
Okay, so our digital pastor's here. He's holding me accountable. No. Like in the movie The Da Vinci Code, the guy was like a religious zealot, and he was like whipping himself for like penance or something like that.
I never did see that. I'm not gonna lie. I never saw Da Vinci Code.
Okay. Well, I just assumed that was a thing that was like popular during like the rise of the Roman Empire and like the Vatican. Like it was like, oh, beat yourself.
Maybe.
We're not. I mean, let's talk briefly, but no religion.
They penitent for their sins and themselves.
Yeah.
You know, I'm guilty of my sins, and that's what I'm hurting myself.
Yeah.
I'm hurting myself.
Okay.
If you got Microsoft and you actually doing the patch studies, you actually hurting yourself sometimes. Because
Right.
I mean, every partition should.
That's what Jay was
really
trying to get
well
at.
that
Yeah.
When patch Tuesday come up, you need to have a small section of machines to test it out first before you roll it out to the whole company. And even if you do that, you need to have a backup plan to regression because Microsoft is going to do what Microsoft does best, which is being Microsoft. And things are going to break, things are going to fail, and at some point they're going to get it fixed. And if it doesn't get it fixed, they'll come out with another patch.
I love it. Okay, and Chad is getting in here. VJ Money, Daniel Lowry. Daniel Lowry is confirming that self-flagellation is just ripping butt and getting the sheets to go. But basically the whole reason I went down this path is because vulnerability management leads to apathy. And if you like abusing yourself, you're perfect for vulnerability management, which is a division of
really dumb, for real.
Which definitely is in the GRC vein. The TLDR here is Microsoft screwed up and they're fixing it. Like, I'm glad we were able to like distill some humor, at least from this banal story. All right, let's keep going.
Discloses security breach. Representatives from the tech sector venture capital firm said the attack was detected on January 16th of this year. According to the company, threat actors, quote, used a sophisticated social engineering technique to gain access to its infrastructure, end quote. They believe the attacker was ejected that same day. They also added that, quote, the incident did not impact its operations, with no evidence of the threat actor's presence after January 16th, and adding no significant impact on portfolio companies, funds, or stakeholders is anticipated, end quote.
Okay, venture capital firm gets hit, and I think it's hilarious that they said they believe they kicked him out after the first day. Like, I would assume you didn't kick him out until you have evidence to support that, not assume that you kicked him out and then until proven otherwise. That seems kind of like, I don't know, risky to make that assumption. Of course, they say no impact to portfolios and stuff like that. They have no idea what evidence or information they took here. Unauthorized third-party access certain inside information systems through a sophisticated social engineering attack. All right, so basically someone got an email and detonated malware in the environment, and they saw some movement. God, the story is about as thin. I mean, I know it's 500 words, but like there's nothing here. Like someone fell for a fish, and they have no idea how bad it is. What?
Frankly, I want more like this. There was something, they caught it, they think they fixed it within that same day. Like, cool. I want all of them to be like that.
Okay, so this is like
As opposed to
a win story?
I think so. It's better than like, oh, they were there for like 18 months and we finally found them and yeah, right? Wouldn't this be better than like those cases? Wouldn't more of these articles like be a good thing?
Yeah, I get. I mean, let's call it a win and feel good. They probably did have some type of You know what? I will say it didn't. It said social engineering attack. We don't know if it was an email. I'm going to assume it was an email. The fact that someone fell for it and then notified IT or cyber that, hey, like something fishy is going on here. Please help resolve it. That feels pretty good. FedEx, you got something?
I would say my TLDR is in 6 months, we're going to get that letter to say, hey, your information has been compromised. And then we'll find out the true story behind the story today. Because that's normally what happened. They say they got it, but do they really got it? Do they really expose and everything? I mean, there can be another LastPass right there telling you 18 months later, oh, by the way, there's more information to the story.
True. I mean, based on what information they currently have, this happened January 16th, so only 4 weeks away. It does take time, honestly, to do a proper investigation and analysis of what's going on, depending on the size of the organization. All right.
Amazon shuts its Android App Store and coins currency. Citing greater popularity within its own Amazon App Store, the company says it will discontinue its App Store for Android on August 20th of this year, and on the same day, it will also be discontinuing the Amazon Coins program. The company said, quote, it will refund any coins that users hold as of August 20th, and added that only a small number of customers used the App Store outside of Amazon devices, end quote. We've got a busy Friday of live.
All right. So, honestly, I had no idea that Amazon had an app store or their own digital currency. Whatever. I mean, this is one of the things about Google iOS that's like, or not iOS, Google operating system, Android OS, that is nice, right? It allows more flexibility, more utility. You can have kind of a free market of people creating app stores and being able to download stuff versus Apple App Store, which is controlled by Apple, walled garden. We do get into the conversation of exchanging liberty for security, right? And that's a bigger conversation in general. Where's that balance? Because obviously, if you give up all your liberties, you can be absolutely secure, but at what cost is that, right? Amazon, I would assume they weren't making money off this store. I would assume that they were just dabbling with this cryptocurrency. Jay Crypto, you'll have to let us know in chat if coins are going to the moon or not.
It wasn't a cryptocurrency, just like a buy coins so you can use them in their app.
In-game currency, like
a lot of mobile games.
Kind of, yeah. They way back in the day, they had a good setup for Prime people, so that you could get games like premium paid games for free if you were a Prime member. But it never went anywhere, and it looks like they finally figured out, like, oh, we still have this. We should shut this down. I think that they forgot that they had it.
Well, not only that, a lot of the mobile games in the beginning, when they came out through the Amazon store only, unfortunately, I played a bit of mobile games, so I have some experience here. The only currency you could use in some of those games that were only available through the Amazon store was the Amazon coin, so you had to buy it through there. It was kind of frustrating. It was a whole separate currency thing. It's no crypto, unfortunately, Jay Gold.
All right, so it's no crypto, but what I will say is, shout out, I guess we're going to get a win. Josh Mason's infected me with like positivity and feeling good and counting wins. So if you're a regular of the show, you know that I am ultra passionate about system development lifecycle and making sure that we actually decommission systems, not just like leave them to list and basically go forever, introducing unnecessary attack surface. So for Amazon to do this, like, hat tip to you guys, shutting it down, cleaning it up, and refunding all the customers their in-game coins purchases is a good move. I would be interested to see what kind of malware was getting distributed through this app store that Amazon was using. It's an interesting attack because we see the Google Store, Google Play Store, pushing malware a lot more often, frankly, than the Apple App Store. Not that all apps are there, but it's just easier. It's a lower barrier to entry for threat actors. Again, this is like making chicken soup out of chicken nut soup. Like with this story, right? This is like, honestly, this is as much a cyber story. Huh?
Chicken Kennedy.
Yeah, Chicken Kennedy. Yeah, like this isn't a cyber story whatsoever. Like this almost feels like a sponsored post from Amazon. So, anyways, let's keep going here. It's 8:53. Get ready. I'm gonna play music. So. All right, guys. Hey, we are wrapping it. This is Friday, February 21st, episode 819 of Simply Cyber's Daily Cyber Threat Brief. Don't go anywhere because we're going to do panel jaw-jacking like we always do every Friday. We got a banger for you today. Mad panel. We got Brews and Hacks. We got FedEx, Marcus Kyler, Real Bilbo, Josh Mason, and myself. I'll simply be facilitating today. We might be able to get some other practitioners who are here live in studio. Want to let everybody know that Paul Charles, who's a recruiter, is going to be our guest next Thursday on Simply Cyber Firesides. And if you don't know what that means if you have any questions about like the reality of the current state of hiring, what businesses are looking for, a lot of layoffs going on right now. Is Sec Plus still considered worthwhile to get through HR gateways? I don't know. But we will talk to Paul Charles next Thursday at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time to get those answers and so much more. I hope you can join us. As always, go to simplycyber.io/streams in order to get the latest information on the upcoming streams. Guys, I'm Jerry from Simply Cyber. This has been an absolute banger. I want to thank ThreatLocker for hosting us here the last couple days live at Zero Trust World. I want to say thank you to all of you. Guys, I know the show's been interesting and different. It's a lot going on up here with the multiple cameras, the multiple audio, the multiple guests. And you guys have been absolute excellent audience. And I love the community. Thank you so very much. DJ Bisek behind the glass helping with production. I'm Jerry from Simply Cyber, guys. Don't go anywhere because we're going to light it up with panel jaw-jacking. If you got to go, we'll see you later. Otherwise, oh, yeah, how do we do a giveaway? Oh, actually, so hold on. By the way, hold on. If you're live in studio right now at Zero Trust World, come to the podcast studio at wherever we are right now. We're going to do a giveaway for this $50 Amazon gift card. $50 Amazon gift card. And Kimberly, are you doing this right now? Okay, let's go over to jaw-jacking. Do they have to enter? Is this? Oh, Jesus. Okay, so here's the deal. We're going to do this jaw-jacking gift card giveaway in the next 15 minutes, so you still have time. Come to where we are at Zero Trust World. If you're like secretly lurking in real life here at the show, come here, get in on this gift card. Let's go. Let's go over to jaw-jacking, guys. Thanks so much. And again, if you got answers, drop them in chat. Let's go. Ever wonder what it takes to break into cybersecurity? Join us every weekday for Jaw-Jacking, where industry experts answer your burning questions about the cybersecurity field. Live, unfiltered, and totally free. Let's level up together. It's time for some Jaw-Jacking. But hey, everybody, welcome to Jaw-Jacking. I'm your host, Jerry Guy. I just lost my glasses, but that's okay. Coming hot off the heels of Simply Cyber's Daily Cyber Threat Brief with that nerd. Oh my God, what an absolute zero that dude was talking about system development lifecycle. Loser. But guys, we got a great panel for you today. A lot of experience on the Friday panel. Let's run down who you've got access to. Actually, I'll let the panel introduce themselves. Really quick, give your name and give like a little area of focus. That way people know what questions to ask. So,
I'm Fungus. I used to be a pilot. I did red team, consulting, a little bit of GRC, a little bit of defensive, a little bit of everything.
Jack of all trades. Real Bilbo.
Come from the support side. Gray beard isn't gray for no reason. I've been around for a while. Spent about 10 years in healthcare, so I got some GRC and some blue team experience.
Also hiring manager and mentor, so he's, if you got hiring questions, Bilbo's got your answers. Marcus Kyler.
Well, you've already introduced me. Marcus Kyler. I like to call myself the voice of the people because, you know, just like all of you, I'm still learning, still growing. I'm in my first position in cyber. I'm in a junior role in DFIR. I am a GRC enthusiast and pray that I can get into that domain of the industry sooner rather than later. And, yeah.
Love it. Yeah.
I'm Brews and Hacks.
A little closer.
Ryan Pearson. Can you hear me now? Yep. Okay, great. It's hard to tell from the lighting, but I'm actually as green as the text on Bilbo's shirt. So I am in vulnerability management. I'm not actually doing mitigation stuff. But
he's got the scars on his
Yeah,
back.
exactly.
Hi, David.
And I started as a network engineer. So
hold on one second.
Yeah, still learning as well. But
So we got David Bomble just crashing the stream.
David Bomball's here.
No big deal.
Hey, David, how are you?
Good, man. Great to see you. Yeah, believe that I need to talk to you, so you need to stop doing this.
All right. All right.
I got you. I got you.
Sorry.
Let me take your ear.
Yeah, you can sit here too, just so you
Yeah, yeah. All right.
You shift.
Oh, and I guess it's my time now. I'm
You're up.
Federico, FedEx. Actually, been in the industry several years. Do some blue teams on GRC because they throw me into the wolves, and yeah, I still time calls and tell the user, make sure you turn off and turn on the machine because that's what we do. We're part of a team, and as a team, we just do what we got to do.
Excellent, excellent. So if you've got questions, throw them in chat, and BSEC, I'm gonna need your help to tag them, grab them for us.
Yeah, so those that don't know, David Bombal and Jerry have been trying to link up for a little bit. We've been sitting next to him all week, and I guess David just finally got tired of waiting to do the interview with Jerry.
Yep, yep. So we've got, if anyone is live here and wants to join the panel, we do have another seat since Jerry ditched us. And I've got one queued up. Thank you, BSEC. The question is from Centennial Gray. How do you answer when an auditor is asking how the company data is in cloud, like Microsoft, is protected from vendor access? Aside from the documentation Microsoft provides on things like customer privacy. Bilbo, do you work with Microsoft with your with clients on the MSP side, or?
Yeah, and I mean, if you're in a compliance mode with, or if you're looking to enhance your compliance, or you have some compliance requirement, like on the HIPAA side, I'm somewhat familiar with that. We used 365 Suite the whole time, so they'll give you a business associate agreement, and then they also they attest to it. So the short answer to any vendor, it doesn't matter if it's Microsoft or not, if the data is stored properly, if they pass SOC 2 compliance, if they passed whatever compliance framework, insert here, they will publicly disclose on their website most times, except some things like your SOCs, security operations centers, they're not going to disclose that stuff. They most likely will want you to sign an NDA first. And that's just to protect their methodologies, kind of the way the secret sauce, So long and short is, if you're looking and you want the proof for your auditor, you want to go to that website of that vendor that's doing that service for you, or reach out to your account manager and they should be able to provide it. If they can't provide it, I'd ask a lot more questions.
Yeah, basically. So you asked if there was anything other than from Microsoft, and frankly, the best answer you're going to get is from that third party. Did you have
Yeah, just a quick add-on there. So I remember my first audit with in the DoD sector. So if you are in a similar environment where you're doing STIG walks, you should be doing STIG walks on a regular cadence. So those artifacts and that proof that the auditor needs should be somewhere in your documentation that you're going through on that regular cadence. So my first audit was definitely nerve-wracking, but just be cool. They'll walk you through it. It's all good.
Excellent, excellent.
And that's one thing, I'm a firm believer that if it's not in writing, it never happened. And here's the catch with the caveat with that is that when you do your documentation, you're working with your third party, you're gonna have your SOC compliance, you're gonna have all this, but they also give you, many companies, and depending on the level you're working, they're gonna have an NDA, and that NDA will have what is and what is not. So if they fail and broke that NDA, you can hold them accountable, because at the end of the day, third-party risk is high, is hot, and it happens. So you had to have your paperwork ready in case you had to engage the lawyers. And those NDAs are what actually going to save a company from a big lawsuit.
Excellent. Here, let's move on to the next one so we get enough coverage. Thanks, PSEC. I appreciate the backup. Again, from Centennial Gray, data encryption at rest and in motion. Customers' lockbox protection is there. Anything else you can put in place to ensure this? So anything other than lockbox, and I don't know. Seems like you got good coverage there.
Yeah, kind of the question answers the question answers himself, but the best way to keep a secret is actually disconnected from the network. So like if you really want to have your security all secure, then you're gonna have a completely sole box, and it's kind of impossible right now with what we do. So you're doing what you're supposed to do. You're doing to have encryption at risk, encryption actually in transit, and
Yeah.
hopefully you have layers. I mean, the best security system is like an onion. It's a layer upon layer upon layer. And at the end of the day, as a security practitioners, we're hoping that those layers don't get popped, or if one gets popped, it doesn't go to the next one.
All day.
Yeah, defense in depth in your backups and validating your backups, right? Like you've got all those stuff in place, so let's test those controls. All too often I see in the workspace where we come in to assess a new client, they tell us, hey, our security's good, we have all these things, and then as we're working through it, we're testing their controls. That's one of the things we do when we bring the client on. We don't just say your controls are in place, we attest to it by testing those controls and then put it in writing. We tested these controls. These are the ones that worked, these are the ones that failed.
Yeah. And if you've got, if you're worried about like the work data not being encrypted, if you have a bring your own device set up, you make it a lot harder for yourselves providing a work device for work to occur on, and then having EDR, VPNs, all of those things on there so that it's almost as if they are in the office, if they are remote. Even easier if people are in the office and those aren't leaving the office. But putting those sorts of protections in place is crucial.
I mean, and that's the concept of zero trust. We actually try to embed everything, make sure we enable BitLocker. I mean, if you got a work computer, that BitLocker should be enabled, and that key should be registered not only in one place, or multiple places. Also, just because you have a BIA and you have a recovery plan, if you never test it, then you got nothing. You need to make sure that you test your backups. You need to make sure you test your system, because what happened in a worst case scenario is you have to be ready.
All right. I'm going to go into the next question. That way we got good timing. Drew here asked.
We missed one, actually. Z Canoli asks, is it a good idea to watch?
I got it in the queue. Yeah. BSEC's grabbing him, throwing it in the queue.
Thanks, BSEC.
He's awesome. So Drew asked, I have cybersecurity assessment experience and recently earned CISP. I'm volunteering to help local small businesses. Besides NIST, CISA, and the FTC, what other resources do you recommend? NIST is good. CISA's got a lot of great things out there. Frankly, if you're looking for resources that you can turn around and use, start looking at Cyber Defense Matrix from Sunil Yu. Threat modeling. There's a, I'm trying to think of the author, but there's a good book on threat modeling that you can help someone understand what threats they're actually facing. That way they can make good decisions, because we all know what threats are out there, but for a small business, they might not understand, like, where will we get hit? Like, is an APT going to go after like a 20-person company, or are they going to get hit with a scam where they end up, giving away money because they fell for something? So knowing what's your best threat, like, model, and then actually defending against those things that are most likely to hit you. But anyone else got thoughts on this one?
I mean, a threat actor is going to do threat actor, and reality is like the story this morning today, $500,000 hit it. It was a big corporation. Well, that corporation might not go out of business, but if it happens to a small business, they probably will go out of business. So threat actor is going to do threat actoring, and when there's money, they're going to go for it. Now, the thing about this, and what I always found difficult, is that the smaller the company, you have to do a little bit more education, because there might be less budget to implement some tools, some resources, and other stuff like that, and that's where it gets a little complicated. I used to work for a nonprofit, and believe it, nonprofits are still for profit, but they try to squeeze a lot of independence in the tooling and everything. So you're working, you're kind of becoming like a MacGyver, trying to, make tricks, and not necessarily tricks, but make something work, and at the same time cover your assets and be protected from threat actoring. So,
yep.
Yeah, and testing those, if you want to take it into the physical practitioner side, more of just guidance of where to go once you get those controls in place. Again, we got to test them, right? Once we get those policies in place, we got to test them. So there's different ways to do that. One of the things I like to use is Atomic Red Team. It's all free. It's easy to use. It simulates bad guys being in your network. Be careful. You still have to understand you're in a production environment, know what it's going to happen because you can cripple your network. So take your time, understand what you're working on, but test the controls like that.
Excellent. Thanks, guys. Guys,
Next
have all
question.
guys up here. Sharice doesn't want to get up here. That's okay.
Yeah, we tried, Sharice. We have, just so you guys, everyone knows, Sharice swims with sharks, I'm sorry, swims with sharks, and Kimberly can fix it, are sitting 20 feet away from us, and neither one of them will sit in to be on the panel.
And you know,
now that I called them out, I'm going to get up and give one of them the mic.
crazy part.
Well, Lanai's not here anymore.
The crazy part in here is that actually Sharice works for a company where what she does is actually bringing down and make it human to those people. Like, you know, she brings the technical to the people so they can understand it physically, and that's what we're talking about. This is the perfect time. Like, you had to sometimes break it down so people understand what the business is all about.
Just giving you some play-by-play here. The real Bilbo is currently peer pressuring Sharice to get up here, and now she is finally coming.
He is. He's amazingly
introduce
obnoxious.
yourself.
Love him. We got a question
Sharks.
from Z Canoli. Is it a good idea to watch demonstrations of labs while I study my Google cert? I know FedEx has opinions. Kim says, why not?
Well, here's the thing. I'm an ADHD guy, so I'm all over the place, and I might be doing 2 or 3 things at the same time. But the TLDR in here is, you know yourself better to know what is your style of learning. Because many people that I know cannot do 2 things at once, and they might not retain properly. So if you're trying to study for a certification and at the same time watch labs, if they're not related to what you're doing, you might get confused, you might not get the right information, or you might just not retain. So in reality, you know yourself better to know what is the best way to study for yourself.
Yeah, the Google cert, frankly, buckle down and just knock it out. It's one of those, it's knowledge base, it's very base level. I know it's a good like entry level feel for it because it feels like, oh, I can know all this stuff. Just power through that one and then get into some of the hands-on stuff, because truly I think, and I bet a lot of the other people are feeling the same, getting past the understanding the lingo, the terminology, and actually getting some hands-on of like, what does it look like to define an alert and track down an IOC, or what does it actually look like to drop a shell and get privilege escalation, is gonna make you feel a little more connected than, yeah. No, I don't think so. I think it's very base level. So Cameron Gaudet asked, on the VPN topic, what do each of you look for in choosing which one to use or buy? And I'll throw out because I've got the mic already, my opinion. Don't get an individual VPN from like a Nord or anything like that. It's a waste of time and money. And frankly, you're adding someone who you don't know to intercept all of your traffic. David Bombal is behind us, has a good video on that recently. Marcus Hutchins and I think John Hammond have also put out videos on why you don't need a VPN for security. If you're in a country where you can't get like Netflix or Google, Amazon Prime videos, and you want to, and you use the VPN for that, that's a great reason. But it's not going to keep you more secure. But on like the work side, like you guys have a VPN for work, I imagine.
Yeah, we utilize a zero trust system that actually encapsulates all of our traffic and we route the way we want it. At some point, we had a split traffic. Now we actually encapsulate everything. It depends on what you're doing and what is your solution. Every architect and every solution is different. For personal use, I am sold on, and this is not an ad, but I'm sold on Proton. I use Proton for my personal use. I like them because, you know, at least I know more or less. The thing about VPNs is that if you are acquiring one for you, make sure where that VPN, that company, the rules, or what country or nature they are, because every country will have different rules. And sometimes they say they protect you, and yet they ended up having to turn the stuff to the police when they get requested. So, you know, there's also tail scales. Scales VPN right now, and then you can actually start it for free and create up to
Yeah, it's
several
like
devices.
it's like OpenVPN.
Yeah.
It's just another wrapper.
And in
Instead of your
reality,
own server.
and what you say too, if you are in another country and you just want to watch Netflix and stuff, depends on your modem and router. Sometimes they have your own connection to your own house. So like Unify Systems has its own VPN to your own router. So basically, if you're somewhere else and you don't want to be in the network, you can connect to your own home network and
Yeah,
then
but
just
we've
traffic
got
through there.
a global community here, so you know.
I mean, so how do you feel about a VPN when you're using like hotel Wi-Fi? I mean, isn't that an important thing to do
No,
there? So you're saying
I
not.
disagree.
You
Like,
disagree.
and, everything that we're already doing is secure. HTTPS is going to be secure. My email, if I'm doing email from my phone, is already secure. So
So you're totally good rolling on your
another
banking app.
wrapper doesn't really help. Plus, it might slow things down, and I'm giving that over to my VPN provider. So, yeah.
Well, what about like Proton? I mean, located in a country where they're not giving up that information.
If
and
you're in a place where, if you're overseas and you're worried about someone else intercepting your stuff, that might be a good reason to do it, especially if you're doing work. Having a work VPN that goes back to the work network so that all of that stays inside the same network, that's a good reason. That's a good reason, but that's not a third-party VPN provider. Usually that's like an open VPN with certificates from your company. What's that? I keep going in.
So
and out?
Wade's saying you're shifting the risk if you are using a VPN to another provider.
Basically.
Mr. Wells. Anybody else have anything?
Do you guys use any personal VPN that you like?
I like Proton. I do use that, and I also had a problem with Discord, the voice chats. Like for the longest time, so my internet provider was doing like some kind of blockage. I don't have my own router, so I was using the one from the company. And Joseph had recommended, after we did some troubleshooting trying to figure it out, like, hey, just try a VPN. And I have absolutely no problem now, and I love Proton because that's what I do to get on voice chat on
Yeah,
Discord.
if it helps, it
So,
helps. Excellent. Cool. And B6 says, you never know what the network you're on is doing. That's true.
I mean, if you're really not, especially now with data plans and cell phones, if you're really unsecure to connect to a network, use your data cell phone. Connect to your own hotspot. It's probably more secure
in the US.
than the actual. Yes, in the U.S.
In the US. Outside of the US, it's not. This is something we faced in the Air Force. Why we had people get VPNs and get signal, because if you deploy to somewhere like Djibouti or Niger or even Saudi Arabia, you don't know who owns the towers, and the people who own them might be the reason why you're in that country as a military entity. So using their infrastructure and trusting that they're not snooping on your traffic, which they very much have the ability to do. I know what the FTC enforces, so I do trust the towers here. Plus, I trust the protocols I'm using and TLS. So,
But yet, even then, even the our U.S. government is telling us to use Signal. So, it's a solution. You just gotta be careful of how you use it. And like Wade say, you trusted the risk to somebody else. So it's just a personal choice at that point.
agreed. All right, here's one for maybe new people. Alt Control Wander asked, been stuck in controls management policy for years. Done stretch assignments in audit and risk and threat modeling. Seem to be having trouble getting into a more risk-focused role. Any suggestions? No suggestions?
No, I don't. I have no idea.
Okay. Well, let's go around the panel because we have a mix of experiences here. Let's just take like a second, if you don't mind. We'll go through, start like FedEx and come this way. How did you get into the role that you're in?
Honestly, it was network. My network. I was currently working for a job, and then that job was coming down to an end, and I put my war feelings, and yeah, somebody say, oh, I know the right person and I got the job. So I always think that networking is important because you just never know. I don't network to get a job. I network to get love, life, friendships, and meaningful connections, but they come handy from time to time.
Networking, for sure. I came from television, excuse me. I came from TV as a producer. So since I did large project management, and I was actually the one that interviewed people. I was never the one on the other side of the camera. So that's how I got my job, because the company wanted me to go and talk to the customers about their concerns and their needs, and they didn't want a tech to do that. Not that you all couldn't do it, but...
Yeah, I currently work for an employer that's contract tech consulting, so similar to Booz Allen, I work for Guidehouse. So they've always been good to me. Since I got that first role, they've found me a contract that suits my talents. So yeah, I'm not the best person to answer the question because I'm just lucky.
Well, I disagree. I don't think you're just lucky. I think that you got your job the same way most of us did. And that's why I wanted to have everyone answer, because frankly, I think the answer ends up being the same in a lot of places. Marcus, how did you end up in your role? I know.
So cybersecurity is the second career for me. I've been in ministry for the past 25 years, and I did a few other things as well. But I went back to school 21 and 22, University of Michigan. It was called a boot camp, but some people don't call 10 months a boot camp program. But it kind of was a boot camp program, just because we had 11 classes during those 10 months, and just covering the gamut of cybersecurity and not really focusing on one thing. But it gave me enough of a foundation to at least be able to talk intelligently about the subject, and to at least be able to know kind of what I wanted to pursue more, and gave me some good resources to study more. But anyway, the way I got my position was we definitely had a good, what's the word I'm looking for, job placement aspect of it. And so we had a job placement coach who would help us with our LinkedIn and getting that together, helped us with our resume, and was also actively looking for jobs for us as we were looking for ourselves. And so actually my job placement coach found the JD to the job that I'm in right now. I would have never seen it had she not gotten it. So she put it in my inbox on LinkedIn, and I applied immediately, and then the rest is history. But the reason, and I think this is the salient point from it, is in boot camp type programs, or any program, you get out of it what you put into it. And so I said, when I was in this program, I said, I want to get the most out of this program, and I want to get my money's worth. And so I'm going to do everything that the job placement people, tell us to do, and I'm going to make myself. I'm going to do everything on time, and I'm going to do it to the best of my ability, so that the job placement person is motivated to work more so on my behalf, because that's really how it worked. Those who took the program seriously, and those who did what they were supposed to do, they were the ones who kind of got more attention from the job placement coach to begin with. And so I just encourage anybody, if you're really trying to get into this thing, do everything that you need to do, do everything that you're supposed to do to put yourself in position for the blessings that could potentially come your way.
I'll turn that right back around. What if people aren't in a boot camp, but obviously they're tuning in here? What would you? Yeah, Kim.
So I was going to say, as you were mentioning that, if you're not in a boot camp, another option is to potentially have mentorship. So there's a lot of groups that are available. I know like FedEx and James McQuiggan are really active in the ISC squared, or maybe it's just ISC now. ISSA, there's Women in Cybersecurity. There's a lot of different groups, even like Tyler's, as we mentioned quite often, hacksmarter.org. There are mentors that you can find that will be able to help you that have those connections already, right? So if you're showing that persistence like Marcus, and, really showing that dedication that you have and what you're trying to pursue, that can help you along the way, and then be able to maybe guide you into some things that you wouldn't normally find on your own. So that would be my suggestion on that.
I will add, Dr. Auger always say, I have a video for that. I have a video for that. There's a lot of free resources that you can utilize and make yourself stand above everybody else. We got people in this community that's doing level effect. We got people in this community that I started doing the free try hack me. We got people in this community that started doing the try hack me in December. Like, there's a lot of free resources that you can utilize, and based upon those resources, you can stand up a portfolio where you make yourself stand above everybody else.
100%. That's I'm a big proponent of that stuff. Real fast before we get into the next question, we do have this card to give away, and do you have the randomizer?
I do. Let's see here.
The bonus is if you show up to an event where Jerry and the team, us, are doing something, is you might win stuff if you come over and say hi.
So today it's a $50 Amazon gift card. So we used a little randomizer, Wheel of Fortune type tool here to be able to help us. So let's see who we have. Keep me honest here, Marcus. Let's see. We've got spinning.
Spin. Wheel of morality. Spin.
FedEx Castro is the winner. All right.
Go get an Amazon package. You get an Amazon package. You get an Amazon package.
Pass that on down. Did the woo come through? Okay, still some music in there. Cool. Jerry is getting very heated over there with David. That'll be a good one. If you want to hear what Jerry's saying to David, check out David Bomble's channel. Can we drop a link? Cool. I would look that up, but yeah, we'll wrap in like 5. Thanks, Bezek. Sorry. Gonna look at the questions real fast. Thank you, Kim. Let's check this one out. So Gliss86 asked, I have a second interview for a junior analyst position for a very small, about 15-person service provider. What should I be aware of with a company like this? What should I expect? So, a small audit company?
Well, whether the company is big or small, I think the process will be the same. Stay true to yourself and stay true to what you got. You already made it. The first interview, you're going to the second interview. There's probably going to be more now with the HR and meet the team. So, they're going to tell you what you can bring. Remember, you also interviewing then. So this is a great opportunity to find out what they are missing and how can you bring value to that company. Because whether it's a small or big one, you have value and you interviewing them. So this is you're doing it the right track.
And just to piggyback off of what FedEx said, the most important word I see here is junior, for a junior analyst position. And this could probably apply everywhere, but especially in the junior analyst position, I know what a lot of companies like to look at is, they want to see that you're interested in the company. They want to see that you've done your homework. You might not have all the technical knowledge yet, and shoot, I'm speaking for myself, but I know that I was able to show interest in the company. I had done their homework. I knew what they did. I was familiar with the content that they had online. I was able to talk about the podcast that they produced, and I was able to give some specific knowledge about, what it was that they were doing, and show that I could fit in, with the company and with the culture. And those kinds of things, those kind of intangible things are really important for a junior analyst or like that, because they're going to teach you, or you're going to have the opportunity to learn more, but show at least what you have learned about the company first, and that can kind of open the door and set you apart from some other people who may not do the studying that they need to beforehand.
I'll do a self-promotion here. Wade and I interviewed Jess Bishop and a few other SOC analysts recently on Simply Defensive, which are here on the Simply Cyber channel. So tune into those. We cover a bit of this, how to go from being like what a junior SOC analyst is going to look like, and how to go from that to moving up into other jobs.
Yeah, I had a quick add-on. So with analysis, and this can spread to other focuses in the industry is always changing, always evolving, right? So I think especially in a second interview, and I've shown this side of myself where I am openly prepared to change the way I think, to be flexible, to do things differently. I think it's important to show that aspect as well.
That's huge. Did you have anything? To the church?
Yeah, go ahead.
To the psychology of it. They are interviewing you again for a reason. There is something they see in you. So don't let the mind game get to you before you go to the interview. They do see something in you. They do want to talk to you again. So stay calm. Do well.
That's huge. That's huge.
You made it to the second step. That's amazing.
Yep. So we're actually kind of at the close to the bottom of the hour. Thank you everyone for joining us, for being here. You guys have been super supportive. I'll say it for Jerry. He was telling me, like, when he saw you all come over the other day, he almost teared up and got kind of a cut in his throat when he was trying to start talking because he loved the support. I want to double down on that. Love having you all here. Bilbo has disappeared, but that's only because he got here like 3 hours ago to help us out. Yeah, love this team, love this group. Thank you all, BSEC, JMod, Joseph. Love you guys. See everything you've been providing in Mod Chat. And with that, I think I got to hit a button.
I got to say, the community, it is international. There's a lot of people here that are YouTubers and all that other stuff. I mean, we got David Mumble and many others in here. But one thing that I noticed is the Simply Cyber team is like a family. We're getting together, we hanging out together, we having breakfast together, we supporting Jerry, we supporting the Strand, and it's just amazing to see that community and grow that community. So it's just different feeling, and it's a welcoming. And if you're around, just come and say hi.
I'm gonna just outro us because we're at the end. Thank you everyone from Threat Locker 0, Trust World 25. Thank you for joining us, and BSEC.
Hey everybody, I hope you enjoyed that content. Keep the cybersecurity train going by connecting with the other Simply Cyber community resources. We have the Discord server that's lively and always keeps the conversation going. You can connect with me directly on LinkedIn. And also every single weekday morning on the Simply Cyber channel, we're doing live daily cyber threat briefings, 8 a.m. Eastern Time, as well as Thursday at 4:30 p.m. We're doing live stream interviews with industry experts, and we produce videos that we push out every Wednesday morning. I'm Jerry from Simply Cyber. I hope you